What's up? What's up, Jeffrey? What's up, guys? What's up, Drew? Hammer, what's up? Yeah, I'm a little late, sorry. AVG? Yeah. I'm gonna try to not make it too long and dragged out. First time watching. Hey, what's up, Mickey? What's up, Rick? Yeah, it's always good to have a nice area, everything cleaned up, and oh yeah, almost 2 in the morning. So, Ivy wire. Ivy wire is a corrugated build. It is usually a corrugated build with spaced alien on the outside. It's basically just like the picture I posted. So it's like a corrugated frame staple with a spaced alien over it. And there's another way to do Ivy wire. Ivy wire is kind of the first name that corrugated wire ever had. It could also be done, homeboy Josh did a video of Ivy wire, and it was kind of just 3 pieces of ribbon. It was the corrugated, what's up, Casey, inside 2 other pieces of ribbon, and that's it. And you wrap it around around your drill bit, but the ribbon's not standing up, it's actually laying flat, and it's got the zigzag in the middle of the 2 pieces of ribbon. It's kind of a very different looking coil. So there's 2 different ways to do Ivy wire. The way I'm doing it is going to be the alien way, which is actually an awesome vape. What's up, Dan? So it usually doesn't take too long to do this build. So I'm going to do one, see where I'm at with time, and just go from there. The last time I did it, it was fairly quick. So we'll see what happens. I was actually thinking, instead of doing a regular alien, doing like an interlock on the outside. So maybe I'll do that. Or maybe I'll do 1-in-1. So I'll be using 0.4 ribbon and 26 gauge nichrome. And then for the alien, I'll be using 38 gauge, I guess. Yeah, I'll be using 38 gauge for the alien part. So, I'm about to flip the camera around in a second and just get started. Let me just get my vaping stuff. I'm still, yeah, that's always a good idea. If you fuck up a wire, like you only get like an inch or 2 inches out of it, strip the bad stuff and make a hybrid out of it. That's always a good idea. But I'm vaping that Peerless. I'm actually really liking the Peerless. It vapes really good. It holds a ton of juice. That's something I've been noticing. This well is humongous. It never leaks. I like the drip tip on it. It feels comfortable. And it's just a good vape. I'm actually really enjoying it. I kind of wish it was just like a basic colored, like just stainless. That's like the only gripe I have so far. But it's different, so that's good. But it's an aluminum cap. It's very light. But it's got good tolerances. It's not leaking. The airflow's nice. No spit back at all. Not getting any spit back whatsoever. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of spit back as long as I'm not drinking the juice. But I'm like really getting like none. I don't even think I'm getting a little bit. This isn't a really spitty build in here anyway. I got them 42 gauge Staggertons I did. Yeah, I would say that mine are sitting pretty low. Actually, the one's way lower than the other one. Yeah, it's sitting pretty low in there. This one's a little higher. Still the same wick as I put in the video. Vaping the same juice in it. This is a .07 build, so it's a fairly hot build. And that aluminum, it gets hot, but I could always vape it because this cap is very well insulated. So it's wicking good, vaping good. I like it. I would never get into like RDA reviews or anything. I would like to have an RDA every week and just build on it and show you guys it and like just tell you how I like it. But I think it's very subjective, RDAs and how people like them. There's lots of RDAs out there that are actually really good that I just don't, they're not my kind of vape. And but if you like my favorite RDAs to vape are the Goon. The Icon is definitely up there. The Icon is very, very good. I really like the Icon. I like the Goon 1, the Goon 1.5. I like the Seminole 24. So if you like them, the Peerless is probably right up your alley. 46 is hard. 46 is hard to work with. I definitely took my time working my way up to 46 gauge. What's up, Bandit? Yeah, them high gauges are hard to work with. I'm good with 46 now, but I never even went over 46. I think next time I order, maybe I'll get some 48 or 50 and try that. Any tricks on it? Don't touch it with your hands, and you got to know the pressure. I mean, I would say like the best tip would be are good, but anything else? Yeah. I would say like the best tip is take your time getting up there. Work with 40 for a long time. And then after you're comfortable with 40 and you're able to do stuff with 40 that you used to be able to do with 36, like once you're able to alien with 40, move up to 42. Once you're able to fuse with 42 without breaking it, like ever, move up to 44 or 46. And then After that, it's just you gotta learn the tension. It's just really nothing else could be going wrong. You have to totally focus on, just fusing that thinner than hair wire. I keep looking at the 46. That's why I'm looking over here. What's up, Greg? I was actually thinking about putting some 46 in this build too. Maybe I'll do like a basic ivy wire real quick, and then I'll do one with like some clapped-in ribbon in there, and the interlocking alien. Yeah, well, it's not so much. See, 46 is really thin, and you would think that you would have to have great vision for it, but really, I'm not looking at a single strand of wire when it's happening. You're looking at patterns, and you're getting the feel of it. So once you get a little bit of wire clapped in, yeah, and you're holding the right tension and the right angle. I mean, that's the biggest thing, the right tension, the right angle, and making sure your prep's good so you don't have to worry about anything else. But once you get a little bit clapped in, you got a pattern to go off of. So then I'm clapped in and down, and I'm watching that pattern. And as long as that pattern stays the same, I know I'm good. But once that pattern looks different, you know you messed up somewhere. Maybe you made too big of a gap, or maybe you jumped over the wire. Seeing your wire jump over the back is very easy to see. And a fast drill is good with higher gauges too. It just clapped-in's tighter. So the best tip is just work your way up. Get used to the smaller or the bigger gauges, and then move up to the thinner gauges. But actually, I gotta move my swivel real quick. I've only been vaping for three weeks. Just got my first RDTA Aromomizer Supreme, so trying to learn all I can before starting any real builds. It's a good idea. I'm going to go watch Project 5, but I'll watch. Alright, yeah, watch the replay later. What's up, Dan? And what's up, Brad? Yeah. It's a good idea to just take your time and move slowly into it. You shouldn't really start building coils for a little bit anyway. Get to know your devices and stuff like that before you move into building on RDAs and stuff. Plus, it's another big hobby to get into. So you're probably already buying your devices and your RDTAs and tanks that best suit you. So your money's probably all tied up right now. So once you get your vape that's going to help you stop smoking, then you might want to look at buying an RDA and practicing your basic builds, your just 24 gauge 7 wraps around a 3mm. I might make a video like that because I don't have any just round wire build videos. And I know there are a lot of people beginning that are watching. What's up, Mr. Bees Wees? But actually, I can move that even more. What's up, Radkill? Radical. I get it. My bad. Yeah, 4 months, 6 tanks. Found the juice I like. Got a good deal on RDA. The pre-made coils, yeah. BB's wick. He's so fucked. He's got the bug and doesn't even know it. That's funny. He's talking about you, Hammer Biohazard. You don't even know what you're in for. It's a good thing, though. Not necessarily a bad thing. He said, yeah, I figured that out. Vaping can be cheaper. It's a weird thing that people that don't vape always ask, is it really cheaper? And it absolutely can be. It usually isn't, though. But if I were to just buy juice, and juice alone, there's even some weeks actually lately, I hardly been buying anything. If I only buy juice, I spend like $40 a week. And I don't have to spend $40. I could get juice for even cheaper than that. But let's say I buy 100 milliliters. I spend about $45 on that a week. Cigarettes would have been $70 just a pack a day. Even more than that, because Philly, it's expensive. It's like $11, $12 for the cigarettes I was smoking. So it is cheaper. It can be cheaper. Especially if you DIY. But, when you start collecting mods and RDAs, yeah, you're in trouble with the whole explaining that it's cheaper. But, it used to be even worse. I mean, vape stuff used to be very expensive. I remember RDAs, it was hard to find anything under $75 for RDAs. They were all, like, the cheapest one was like $75. $90 was like a good price for an RDA, but most of them were about $120. What's up, Bones? Oh, yeah. In New York, it's expensive, especially if you're a 2-pack a day. New York's even more expensive than Philly is. I mean, not for long, but... So with Ivy Wire, the first thing to do is prep your build. So I'm going to get out 16 inches of... Where's my scissors? 16 inches of 0.4. Let me see if I could do that twice. I can. Yes. Where's all my tools? My scissors are right in front of my face. Alright, so I got 2 pieces of Canthal 0.4 here. Then I'm going to get a piece of nichrome. See if I can't put a line down the middle of this stack when it colors. And then I need a piece. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing nichrome because it has to be nichrome. You could corrugate, nichrome, Canthal, stainless, whatever you want. But I'm going to get out a 10-inch piece of nichrome. That's going to be my corrugated piece. Now I did these 16. You can't do this 8 because corrugated does shrink when you bend it because you put bends in it. So you can't just do half of the measurement that you need. So I'm going to take that 10-inch piece, get my paper quiller, just got to make sure that I send it through the right way. If I send it through the wrong way, what happens is when I turn this thing opens up. Okay. So I'm going to send it through this way so it pulls the hook that way, because I've had it pull the hook out before. And no, that's the wrong way. What the heck is going on? This is the right way. So I'm just going to make sure that it stays in the middle. Yeah, I've wasted money on far worse things than cigarettes too. So. Just keep it in the middle here. I guess I could try to show you what's going on. Just coming through bent. Just you have to pay attention to it, because what happens is sometimes it walks up or down the wheel. Right now it's walking down, so I got to angle up so it doesn't come out of the wheel, or the gears rather. Now these worked as soon as I used them. The very first ribbon I corrugated worked fine. I've never had a problem since then. You do have to be careful with these. Don't send round wire through these. They will bend up. I haven't done it, but I've seen people do it. Actually, Mindforge's video, he explains. He tried to send something thick through there. If you want to send stuff thick through these gears, I would go to one of these bigger ones. Maybe this one down here. Or something like that. Or, I mean, get 2 sets, or get the metal gears. Something like that. But they will fray if you're not careful. Pretty cool little tool that I never would have known existed if it wasn't for building. Alright, so now there's a natural bend in it. Yeah, it's for paper crafting, a paper quiller. It's for quilling paper. It's weird. I think it's like making, almost like making confetti. Like if you were going to make a piñata with confetti in it, or even just some of them are like paper mache piñatas, where the actual bent pieces of paper on the outside also. Stuff like that. You could also, you don't have to order it. I was also at AC Moore, and they had a wheel. Birthday card makers. Alright, so there's a natural bend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both ends and give it the littlest stretch. You don't want to take any of these corrugated bends out. You just want to stretch it so it comes straighter, and that natural bend comes out. I'm good with this. If you wanted it even straighter, you could do a little bit more. You could stretch it a tad more, and it'll become a little bit more straighter. So, there's that. So now, I'm going to get my ribbon. Get some water ready. I'm going to grab my 3 pieces of ribbon and bend them in half. So they're all flat, bended in half. This is kind of the same thing I was saying last night. Once you bend them in half, I mean, they're all laying flat. Then I take my fingers, put them in the middle here, and I bend them all. Just a little bit. And then I pinch here, and they go on top of each other. I let go down here, I pinch here, and they stack in my fingers. And then I grab like this. Close this up a bit. But not all the way, because I still got to put my corrugated in there. Before I get my corrugated in there, I'm going to make sure that I got some 40 ready. So I could bind. And then I'm going to get my corrugated piece. I'm going to throw it in the middle of my stack here. I'm going to work this in. Bend it closer and closer to that corrugated. And once they're all stacked the way I like them, up here near the loop, get my 40. Give this a couple wraps. You want it tight, but not so tight that it's going to collapse the corrugated. Do about 5 wraps, and then cut it off. I'm going to run my fingers down a bit. Now I'm going to get some hot glue. I'm going to put a dab of hot glue, like right over that 40 gauge wrap that I did. While it's drying, I'm going to get ceramic tweezers and make sure that it just stays stacked properly. And that's a good foundation to start. Alright. It's dry. Now I'm going to run my fingers all the way down this stack just as if it was just a regular frame staple. And make sure my ribbons are pretty much where they gotta be. I'm going to come down to the end here. I'm going to find the shortest ribbon and cut all the ribbons to that length, and that's going to cut off any nasty bends at the end there. So now all the ribbons are the same size. Alright. I'm going to come back up here, do the same thing, run my fingers down. Make sure these are all going to start to move where I want them when I start binding. Come back up here. I'm going to go an inch down. From here to there is good. So I'm going to get a piece of 40 gauge. to do 5 wraps again in this. I think I did like 6 there, but whatever, 5 or 6. I'm going to run it all the way down this wire. If you stop somewhere, it probably means you just got to fix something ahead of you. Alright, now it's all the way down at the other end. So once I get it down here, I could wrap this 40 around again 5 times to kind of tighten it up. This is the part that's going to go into my drill chuck. And then I could snip that 40 off. So it looks like a mess right now, but when I pull that tight, it kind of comes in order. But I'm going to be binding this more when I put my frames on. So now I'm going to get some 26 gauge. Got 26 gauge nichrome. I'm going to get 16 inches of this out, stretch it to straighten it. Bend it in half. I'm going to get my 26 loop over my ribbon loop, and I'm going to pinch it in close to that ribbon loop. I basically want it sitting right on top of that ribbon loop, so when I put it on the swivel's kind of grabbing both of them and putting pressure on both of them. So I want it like dead on top of it, almost one piece. Once I got that, and I got it just like this, I'm going to wrap it with 40. Basically just repeating the same process as I just did. Okay, cut the 40. Just got to make sure. Sometimes the 26 goes on the opposite side because of the way you bend it. So I'm going to bend them out a bit so they stay on their proper side. And then I'm going to bring it in. I might have bent that out a little too much. But what I'm going to do is come 1.5 inches down here and do another 40 gauge wrap. So I'm going to do just a couple of these binds down this this strand. And what I do is I do a couple 40 gauge and I do a couple ribbon. So I'm going to get some 0.4 ribbon off my spool. And my next bind is going to be ribbon. You could use either or both like I'm doing. It really doesn't matter. I like the ribbon because it keeps it flat for a good distance, but I like the 40 because it keeps it a little tighter. But I do 3 wraps with the ribbon. Crimp it down, and then I do 1 more wrap and crimp it down again, and then cut the ribbon clean. Then I could slide down here. Do a 40 gauge wrap. I could cut that off. Shit's a little messy down here. So what I'm going to do is that 40 gauge down on my ribbon stack. It seems to be too tight and binding my stuff up. I'm going to take that off. I'm almost at the end anyway. I could just put another one on in a minute. So now I come down a little more, get some ribbon again, do 3 wraps, crimp, 1 more wrap, crimp. You gotta hold on.
Kill a ladybug. It's flying. Weird. It scared me.
Let me slide down to this end.
They scare me. Yes.
And I'm going to get my 40 gauge and wrap it up at the end here. Alright, so I'm all prepped. I gotta go take care of a ladybug that's terrorizing the family real quick. I'll be right back. I couldn't find it. Yeah, well, summertime, she's just on the phone with her friend the whole time. Alright, so this is all ready. So I have 6-ply, a corrugated wire, and two 26 gauge. To go around this, probably my best bet is going to be something like, let me think about this, 24 gauge. I think 24 gauge is going to do it. I'm talking about my decor. So I'm probably going to have to decor some 24 gauge and stretch it the right way to get it around this kind of a stack. Obviously, it's a pretty big stack when you have corrugated in there. 26 ain't going to cut it. It's way bigger than 326s, but it's about the same size as 324s. It's hard to do the math with corrugated in there, but I know 4 pieces of ribbon stacked is equal to 26. So if I just had 2 pieces of 26 and 4 pieces of ribbon, that would be 26. So add 2 more pieces of ribbon and a corrugated, and that's way bigger. So I'm going to go 24. If you wanted to kind of get an idea of what you're going to need and you don't really want to do math, you could do something like this. You could get some 24 gauge and cut 3 little pieces. I don't think this is going to show me what I want to see, but it might give me a good idea. So I could get 3 pieces of 24 gauge, put them tight together as if they were going to be alien. What's up, Drew? Go check out Drew and the Resistance crew. That shit rhymes, motherfucker. So I got 3 pieces of 24 gauge. Let's see how close it is to the size. Actually, hold on a sec. If we're going to do this, we might as well go all out and do it the right way. Let's get real serious about this. Shit's about to get real. Gonna hot glue these 3 bitches together. Fuck you. All right. So that's the 24 over the corrugated prep. So the corrugated's still a little bigger, But I could do 24 and just overstretch it a little bit, and it'll be fine. But there's a way you could figure it out. Alright, if I would have did 26, it would have been showing way more. So there's some stupid science for you. Alright. So let me get a piece of 24 gauge. Now, when you're doing a spaced alien, obviously you don't need a whole bunch of alien wire because it's spaced. But just because you're spacing it, a little spacing goes a long way. You don't want to space them too much because then it's not going to wrap properly. Your staples are going to go all over the place. So even a little space is going to look big in your pictures and such. So you really just want to do a little spacing. And that'll be good enough. And there's two ways you could do this. When you're doing a spaced alien, you could actually Clapton it clockwise and alien it clockwise. When you're doing a spaced alien, it actually gives you kind of a pretty cool effect. It still looks like an alien, but I would say it almost Claptons on there. I want to say a little easier. But let me straighten this 24. So I'm going to get my 38. And this should be perfect. I got a little bit of 38 left on this spool. Let me use that up. I got more spools of 38 waiting. So I'm going to Clapton. I'm going to Clapton in reverse and do my alien in reverse also. I'm going to try that because I never tried it that way. I always did it in forward and Clapton in forward with the spaced alien. So I'm going to wrap this in counterclockwise rotation. So it might draw in reverse. So this would be plenty enough. It would be more than enough. I have about 6 inches here. This would do my dual coil spaced alien, but I have a little bit on this spool. I'm just going to run out the rest of this spool. Alright, there's the end of the spool. Alright, I leave like 1.5 inches at the end. I'm going to put my drill in the forward or clockwise rotation, hold the clapton, twist, and this is going to loosen the clapton off the core. It's all loosened up, a little more. So this clapton will move on the core. Vape it single coil. If it's too low for dual, it's probably going to vape good as a single coil. Try it out. Goons are awesome for single coil vapes. They're one of the best single coil vapes you could get. Gonna cut my core. Slide my clapton off. There's my 38 gauge 24 D core. Take this 24 off the swivel, put that aside for later. Now I can get my... Oh, so what I was thinking as I was clapping in that is the reversed alien, the reverse alien that I'm talking about. So basically doing the alien in the same direction as I just clapped in is easier to get even spaces that way. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you want to do a spaced alien, it's actually easier to do doing a reverse alien. It almost automatically spaces for you. It's easier to get an even spacing that way than it is to do a traditional alien and just holding the spaces off. If you've never tried it, I just suggest you try it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to slide my ribbon slider at the end here, closer down to where this is going into my drill. I'm going to bend my 26 gauge out. Just like that. I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to dab some hot glue down here. All right. Oh. Hot glued it to my finger. If it's not too hot, it's easier just to let it dry. And you can just peel it off. Close up my swivel. bring this down to the chuck. I want to get one of the teeth in my chuck on the bottom. So basically what I do here is I rest the flat part of my build on that tooth that I put on the bottom. And then I close this in so the other two teeth kind of close in. And it's almost like they're going down. When really they're all closing, but it feels like them two are going down on the flat part. That's how I center my flat builds in my drill. I've been looking for a hand vise. But to tell you the truth, I don't have too many problems doing this. I'm not so sure I really need it. Alright. I bought these for builds just like this. Obviously I didn't use them in the prep. But these things are great for these Ivy builds. There's actually an Ivy build tutorial out by the guy who actually invented the Ivy coil, Farrell. And he uses these little close line clips. And I always wanted them, and I finally found them. Like fucking 2 years later. They are holding it pretty good. They're like perfect for corrugated builds. Put them all the way at the end here. Holds it nice and flat. They're nice and light, and they got like an even weight to them. I got them at AC Moore. It was like $2 for a 12-pack. Oh. I see what you guys are talking about. I don't go lower than 0.05. I'll just say that now on a mech. And I vape at around 0.07 almost all the time on a mech. With good batteries, and I just make sure that I don't drain my batteries too much. I try to get them off of my mech when they're at like 3.8 would be the lowest. So basically I use them. I go to work with a battery in my mod and then a 4-pack of batteries. I actually have 7 batteries. I have a 3, case with 3 and a case with 4. I usually only use the 4. Alright, so I flip them over when I'm done with them. So basically, on my way to work, there's a battery. I take it out when I go to work. And then at lunchtime, I take that battery out. And then at like 2 o'clock, I take that battery out. And they almost never get at 3.7. And every 4 months I get rid of my batteries because I do vape very low on a mech, probably lower than I should. I don't encourage it. If you never did that, I would try to not start to, because there's a chance you won't turn back when you do. Because I'm at a point where, like, a 0.12 on a mech is not enjoyable for me at all. I won't even do it. I'd rather put that on a box and turn it up. So I got my decor here. Clamp my decor to my desk. I'm going to grab the other end with my needle noses. And I'm going to stretch this. It's going to be a little bit of an overstretch since I needed to get, more. That this is bigger than 324 gauge, so a little bit of an overstretch I'm going to do. Or I could do just regular and I'll do the overstretch as I clapped in it. I'll just pull a little tension on it or whatever. Okay. All stretched. So now I'm going to get my 24 decor, my 38 gauge, wrap it around this little nub coming out of my drill chuck. I'm going to start off slow, make sure that the stretch that I got is where I want it, and if it's not, then I'm pulling the right tension to get it where I want it. But like I said, I'm doing a reversed alien. So what that means is instead of doing the reverse of what I did my Clapton, I'm going the same way as I did my Clapton. So I did my Clapton in counterclockwise, or with the drill in reverse. So I'm going to keep the drill in reverse. Alright, so I'm going to start out. I'm going to make sure my stretch is good. So I definitely overstretched it. So I gotta like really pay attention when I'm clapping in this. I like can't put like any tension on this if I want to get any good results. Oh, that's too much. So far, this isn't going good. Hopefully, I'll catch it by the second coil. I made enough Clapton to fix the mistake if I have to. Just did like a really weird stretch. I probably should have understretched it a little more than what I did. This ain't going good. I'm reversing this now while I got a chance to. I still got enough alien to work with, so and one of the main things is not to lose your cool too quickly. Stay calm, because if your nerves get the best of you, you're really gonna fuck shit up. But like I said, my initial Clapton for this alien, I did way more than enough. So I'm not going to worry myself too much that the first one didn't go good. Another thing, what's funny is I was just talking to somebody about this on the Coil Wars page today, about 38 gauge aliens, and when you do so many 36, your muscle memory's messed up and 38 becomes hard, and vice versa. I used to do a lot of 38, and then 36 I wasn't stretching them properly because I was so used to the feeling of 38. I was understretching my 36 since it's a stronger wire. So I've been doing a lot of 36, and this is actually one of the first 38s I did in a while. So I might have did the stretch a little differently, and I might be holding a weird pressure on it as I'm Claptoning. So let's try this again. I'm actually going to not do the reverse alien. I'm going to do a regular alien. So I did put my drill in the reverse motion this time. See if that helps me any. I started to get it, and then it fucked up again. I'm starting to think I should have understretched 22 gauge D-core rather than overstretch 24. Yeah. Yep. I think that's exactly what I should do. So, what I'm going to do is get some 22 gauge. Clapped in a bit of it. Get my D-core. Understretch and do the same thing. I think my cores are too big for 24. It seemed like no matter what I was doing, putting more pressure, less pressure, it didn't want to go the way I needed it to go. So straighten out this. That should be plenty enough. Loosen my clapton. Alright. Snip, D-core. Put my 22 aside. I'm running out of 22. I gotta buy some more. All I use it for is D-cores too. Get my stack back on the swivel. Now as I undo this, I need to put some clothespins on there to keep it together. Let me show you guys close up what the good part looked like, because there is actually something to show you here. When you do 22 gauge, since it's a bigger wire, and I'm going to be doing an understretch, I'm going to be getting a more predominant S shape in my alien. So this is what I'm going for. All right, Drew. Yeah, so if it would have went the whole way like this, would have been pretty cool. But I'm pretty certain that I'm going to get it with the 22 now. Alright. So I'm going to take a little out, put a clothespin on. Take a little more out. Another clothespin.
Baby, you alright?
Do my stretch. It's absolutely an understretch I'm looking for with this, because this wire is much smaller than 322. My corrugated wanted to start coming over the ribbon a little bit, so I gotta fix it. But this all went good. So now I just gotta get back on track. All right. Got him. Alright. See, it's a more curvy S in the alien. And then here, where is it? Here's where the ribbon wanted to start messing up on me and I had to fix it. See, the ribbon started jumping over. But I fixed it. Got back on track. That's going to be cut off. That's actually in between both my coils. Yes?
I see the ladybug.
The ladybug's back.
What?
The ladybug's back.
Yeah, ladybug's back.
So I'm going to wrap up one of these coils. I don't want to wrap up both because I need to take pictures for my cover page. But I'll show you how I wrap it up. And then this video is going to be done for tonight. Give me 1 second. I got to go slay a bug. Let me go free them. Hopefully it doesn't fly away first. Ladybug rescue. Just doing my bit, just doing my bit. Alright, so I'm going to cut this in half. Right where it messed up. I gotta zoom out here. Things zoomed in a lot. Alright. So now I got 2 pieces for 2 coils. These can be very tricky to wrap. Any corrugated build, you need to be very careful. If you wrapped it good and you prepped it good, it should be a lot easier. But you still got to be careful with it. I wanted to see if this... Not really. Alright. So just like all my builds, I get a pair of pliers. And use them like a vise. And I hold down the one end pretty tightly. I get my wrapping tool. This wire is pretty thick, so I'm not going straight up. I'm going kind of on an angle. And I'm going to put pressure straight down on the rod and push down. Bring it up, pull it back. Same thing, pressure down on the rod as I push down. Bring it up. I'm going to pull back. That's like tightening it. Once you get 2 wraps, it should be a little easier. Really, after the first wrap, it should be much easier. I'm going to make this a 5 wrap. Alright, now before I bend my lead, I want to look at it close up and see what the best view is. Actually, I'm just going to do it with this. I mean, that side looks fine. This side looks a little better though. Clip off the hot glue and boom. See how it looks. Can't believe that this build I think I did live the last time I did it. I think it was a half an hour. I remember doing like 3 builds that night, and this was the first one, and I banged it out real quick. It was different specs I used, though. Whatever, though. We have fun. At least people get to learn from my mistakes, also. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this one. That's why you, Oh, what's up, Dan Connor? That's why you take your time. You don't lose your cool. You figure out what you're doing wrong. Because it's not the wire. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. And they want to blame the wire. But it's probably you doing something wrong. You just gotta think about what you're doing wrong and fix and adjust. But, yeah, I'm gonna get going. It's getting pretty hot in here. I got me some work tomorrow. And this single build took a little longer. But thanks for hanging out, guys. It was fun. Hope this helped, and if not, I hope you enjoyed. Next live vid will be Saturday, unless I go on to do something on Instagram out of the blue. Yeah, these vape are really nice. I mean, I really like. Some people think they're a little spitty, but I've never really had a problem with them. They look cool as hell, especially when you color them. Alright, guys. Remember to check out the Resistance crew. Go over to the Omi Mark's Instagram. He's having his 1000K giveaway. Hit the like button if you can on every video that you watch of mine. If you know anybody that needs help with anything, point them to my channel. I go into the Coil Wars page a couple times a day, and I still see people asking questions that I've already answered, and it's just because they just weren't on Facebook at the right time to see my post. So, some people not everybody knows that I'm on here, and that lots of the questions that they're asking were already answered. So if you see somebody asking a question, just point them over to my page. Or tag me, and I'll point them to the right video. Yeah, check out Coffee Black's music. He's got a new tune on iTunes. It's a long story, I'll tell you later. But, oh, the frame staple tutorial will be out this week, too. That's the next one, and they're just getting started. So, frame staple tutorial should be up in the next couple days. And I also want to do a quick razorback tutorial. Razorback mohawk. But alright, guys, peace.